Greetings, friends. Today, I'm going to tell you about Alexei, an architect from Moscow. He is an apostle of smart spaces, a man who could masterfully integrate a washing machine under a kitchen countertop and considered it the pinnacle of European engineering. He sincerely believed that American suburban homes were a ludicrous and wasteful excess. And so this connoisseur of compactness and multifunctionality flies to a suburb of Minneapolis, Minnesota, for a work contract. He rents a typical American house, and on the very first day, trying to find where to do his laundry, he can't find it in the bathroom or the kitchen. Instead, he discovers an entire separate room in the basement. At that moment, it's not just a job that begins for Alexei. It's the shattering of his worldview. This isn't a story about home appliances. It's a story about how the American understanding of personal space can completely destroy your faith in smart European solutions. And what he comes to understand will truly shock you. To understand Alexei's initial arrogance, you have to picture his life in Moscow. He was proud of his apartment. It was the quintessence of European efficiency. The washing machine, elegantly hidden behind a kitchen cabinet facade, was his personal point of pride. It was clever, it saved space. Yes, he had to hang his clothes on a folding drying rack in the living room, but he saw this not as a drawback, but rather as an element of Scandinavian minimalism. He looked at photos of American houses with their gigantic basements and separate laundry rooms with contempt. How barbaric, he thought, to dedicate an entire room to something you can elegantly integrate into the kitchen. What a senseless waste of square footage. He flew to America with the full conviction that he would teach these wasteful Yankees how to organize their living spaces properly and economically. He walked into his new temporary home in a Minneapolis suburb. A spacious kitchen, a huge living room. No compromises. At first, this even annoyed him. Tasteless gigantomania, he muttered to himself. When it was time to do laundry, the quest began. He searched the kitchen. Nothing. The bathroom. Nothing there either. With a slight sense of panic, he went down to the basement. And there, in a dry, well-lit space, he saw it. This wasn't a laundry nook. It was a command center for cleanliness. A washing machine as huge as a space module and an equally gigantic dryer. Alexei scoffed. Why such monsters? His compact European machine got the job done. Slowly, in several loads, but it got it done. These American behemoths seemed to him the height of inefficiency, guzzlers of electricity and water. He ironically loaded all of his dirty clothes from the week into the drum, and it didn't even fill up halfway. But then the interesting part began. The machine finished the wash cycle in 40 minutes. And then he transferred the damp laundry to the dryer. Another 50 minutes later, he pulled out perfectly dry, soft, and warm laundry. No folding drying racks. No humidity in the living room. No visual noise from hanging socks and shirts. The process that took him half a day in Moscow and turned his apartment into a branch of a laundromat took 90 minutes here and happened somewhere downstairs, in the basement, without invading his personal space at all. In the evening, he cooked dinner in his spacious kitchen and didn't have to listen to the hum and vibration of the washing machine under the counter. He sat in the living room with a book and didn't catch sight of his sad, hanging jeans. And a simple but terrifying thought for his ego began to dawn on him. The final epiphany came when a colleague, another Muscovite, came to visit. They were sitting in the kitchen, drinking coffee. Hey, where's the washing machine? His friend asked. Alexei, now with the superior air of an initiate, silently pointed him to the door leading to the basement. They went down. His friend was in shock. A whole room? Seriously? And a dryer. A real one. And at that moment, Alexei understood everything. His European efficiency wasn't a choice, it was a forced measure. It was the art of compromise, born in the confines of limited space. He didn't choose to put the washing machine in the kitchen. He simply had no other place for it. He didn't choose to dry his clothes in the living room. He had no alternative. He was forced to constantly sacrifice the integrity of his living areas for a basic household function. The Americans, however, didn't make that compromise. They solved the problem decisively. They said, the kitchen is for eating. The living room is for relaxing. The bedroom is for sleeping. And for laundry, there will be a separate, dedicated space. This wasn't wastefulness. This was the highest form of spatial organization, based on a respect for the quality of life. Alexei stood in his American laundry room and felt his beliefs crumbling. He realized that the American dream of owning a home isn't about gigantomania. It's about the right to a life without compromise. The right for your kitchen to be just a kitchen. The right for your living room to be just a living room. The European model had taught him to be inventive within limitations. The American model showed him how to live by eliminating the limitations themselves. And this separate laundry room wasn't a luxury. It was a declaration of freedom. Freedom from domestic chaos, from visual noise, and from the need to constantly choose which function of your home is more important today. So what is a separate laundry room? A sign of American excess or a basic element of civilized life? Is a washing machine in the kitchen a symbol of European ingenuity or a marker of a forced compromise? Share your opinion in the comments. We'd be incredibly interested to discuss it. And of course, subscribe to the channel, give us a like, and hit that bell icon so you don't miss our next dive into the surprising American reality.